Getting.
Okay, we are live.
Hi, Forbes. Oh, it's time for roll call. Come on in, Forbes. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
He's
Hello,
getting better on the
Forbes.
microphone. Do you want to? We're gonna do roll call now.
What does that mean?
Well, that's where we're gonna. Just like in school, do you guys have? Does your teacher say, "Is Forbes here?" And you go here or present? No. They must count you these days. Well, we always had it. We've got Brett and Kevin and Bruce and Jason and Frank and Mike and Jill and Lindsay, the daughter. That's your mom. What's she doing in there? And John and Rose and Rick and Sandy and SP Sheridan. Do you know who that is? No. Here. Do you see him right there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And we've got Michael Westbay. He is in Japan and watching us right now. And Al, and I think in the sidebar we saw, looks like Aaliyah is here. And I heard
Rose?
Mark. I got Rose, didn't I? No, I didn't get Rose. I saw Rose and then she moved. And we've got, didn't Mark show up in the sidebar for a little while?
Yeah.
He was botting it.
Yeah, he's there.
How's that?
Good.
That's pretty good.
Good.
Anyone else we missed?
Do you want to say anything to anybody?
No.
No? You're good? Oh, yeah. Do you want to say Plinky Plink? Or Plinky McPlink Plink?
No.
No? You're shy. Your sister, when she wakes up, she'll come in and make noise. Maybe she'll show up at the end. Yeah. All right. We'll see you, Forbes.
Wait, before Forbes goes.
Wait, before Forbes goes. Oh, and don't trip over that. He's got his foot wrapped through the Ethernet cable.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Glad you called him back. What
Kevin
do you have
had
for Forbes?
Kevin had a hello greeting to Forbes.
Oh, okay. Here, Forbes. You got to listen to this.
You're gonna have to play it
Safe for
for
hearing.
him.
Let's see.
You have to play it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to push play here. Tell me if you can hear it. Oh, wait. No, he's not going to be able to hear that because I've got it muted. Oh, here we go. That's true. We could. Let's make it harder. Always. Here we go. It's not working.
I'll go play it.
What did he say?
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Oh, Forbes, welcome to the show, buddy. How fun is that? All right.
Bye, everyone.
All
Bye-bye.
right. To the chat room where she belongs.
I am getting feedback. Maybe when you turn Discord
when
on.
I turned on Discord. We're not going to diagnose that. I'm just going to kill Discord again. There we go. There's TLA, Mark. Okay, the video on Podfeed shows tiny video windows in the Discord. Does that go away?
Well, I can do this for you, Mark.
Is that better?
The thing is, this interface with StreamYard is not as flexible as what we used to have.
And actually it is, but you haven't started using it yet. We now have the ability to make custom layouts, but I don't think Steve has played with it yet. So yeah, what he's going to do, Steve has control, so he's going to do that for some of it. And then I think he switches, show him the one where it's me and Hindenburg. I was confused. There, that's one. You probably like the one where it's the smallest picture of me. All right. I think I'm going to save to start us off here. And yep. I'm not going to be talking too much tonight because we have a lot of pre-recorded content. But I think we should probably start out the show. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. No picture of Allison is fine. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured Mark would say. Always in true form. All right, here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, and this is show number 934. Well, Steve and I got to spend a rare weekend with our entire family. Kyle and his family flew in from Texas, and we all converged at Lindsay's house to celebrate her daughter Sienna's 3rd birthday. I even got to see my brother Grant, so it was a positively perfect weekend. So that's why I'm on my road mic here, but we're still doing the live show, having a good time. And we just had a rare appearance by Forbes, my grandson, during the live show here. With any luck, Sienna will wake up in time for the end of the show to babble senselessly into the microphone. So that's always good. Anyway, but don't worry about the show. We have lots of content for you. We've got 2 really interesting interviews from the CSUN Assistive Tech Conference, recorded and edited by Steve. Remember, on these interviews, the audio is great because we record them as though everyone is blind, so you don't have to see what we're seeing, but you can also watch the video version of all of the interviews at the links in the show notes. Barry Folk is going to be here to tell you why you probably want to come to MacStock in July a day early because of the Midwest Mac Barbecue and Wine Tasting event. Jill from the North Woods steps in with a review of a cool app she's been using on her iPad for a really long time, and Bart Bouchatz finishes us off with a very tame and mild security bits. All right. Save and add chapter marks. I think I will. Did I get an interview with the Clockwise podcast? No, you don't interview another podcast, really. If you mean, was I on the Clockwise podcast? Not this week. I often am, but not this week. So which one did I say was first? I've got to go to Low Vision International. Oh, I don't need this, actually. Oh, no, but you know what I do need? I need to find it in the... Where are my Finder windows going? Finder, hello. Okay, you know what would be cool is if I could see a Finder window. Oh, it's making lots of them. Oh, there they are. Because I've added an extra display, they had kind of slid down to the bottom right, so that was neat. Let's see, let me look on my desktop. I bet Steve has this here for me. Desktop and CSUN audio files. Low Vision International, that's our next one. Let's start off with that. And we're going to do a chapter mark here. Oh, let's see. Let me paste in first chapter mark. 1, 2, and a right click copy. I'm not doing it with the new version. Okay, let's hear how this sounds. Bouchatz finishes us off with a very tame and mild security bits. I've done a lot of interviews with people who have devices for magnifying things on screen back from... And that's all you get. This is actually a really cool cool devices. They are screen magnifiers, but they work with your existing equipment. So a lot of the magnifiers, you have like an overhead projector, if anybody's old enough to remember those, and then they look down at something. But you have to buy the display that shows you it big, and you have to buy the camera and all these different pieces. But these use your iPad or your Microsoft Windows tablet or a PC or a Mac. And then there are attachments that go with it. And it's pretty slick. Makes them less expensive, I think. All right. I think the thing with Barry should just light itself up. Let's see. This Low Vision International here, so don't forget about it. I'll put script talk there. All right, so I don't need this. I can go there. And what was I going to go for? I was going to go find Barry. Where's Barry? Barry on the Midwest Mac Barbecue. There we go. And I should probably I'll probably let you listen to a little bit of this. There we go. And we're going to go up here. And I think that's got a little bit of extra space. Let's see how that.
So I appreciate you coming by.
After MacStock was canceled, a lot of us.
Hey, Al.
Whoa. What?
I didn't see. Maybe you did. Did you put a chapter mark in for that?
I did not yet. I was going to, but I was checking the separation first. But I probably would have forgotten, so we will allow it. Oh, you know what? And I think he gave the chapter mark is going to be to his URL. It's going to look funny. Yeah, you might want to give him, or I'll give it to him since I got it in my paste buffer. I think it's like barryfolk.com or something like that. But oh, sorry, Steve. I stole your thunder. Do you say after MacStock was canceled? That was last year. Let's not let Mark panic. Let's go ahead and play this.
Appreciate you coming by.
After MacStock was canceled, a lot of us were really sad about the community that we lost. Oh, I said no. I did say MacStock. It was supposed to be Macworld. Okay, we're going to have some fun with this. The only way to fix this cleanly is going to be to give Mark credit, which breaks my heart.
Maybe intro with that.
I'm going to. Okay. It's a good thing we have a live audience for the NosillaCast because I'm about to start this. Hang on, I'm going to run into myself. Room to move this over. Come on. I'm running into cables with my hands here. It's a good thing we record with a live audience because alert listener Mark just noticed that the bit you're about to hear me say starts with me saying, that's it. I have a script, guys. It's a good thing we always record with a live audience because alert listener Mark heard me start playing this next bit you're about to hear. And the very beginning, I say, ever since MacStock was canceled. MacStock was never canceled. It's Macworld that I meant was canceled. And it will make a lot more sense in context if you remember the very first time I say MacStock, I mean Macworld. All of the other times, hopefully, I really am saying MacStock when I mean MacStock. Anyway, let's get to our conversation with Barry Falk. All right, there we go. Glad you noticed that, Mark. Okay, where did I delete that recording? What did I do? Man, I did. That's all right. I could do it again. Barry, put you up here. Did anybody see me delete that? Ooh, that's pretty, Michael. Anyway, let's get to our conversation with Barry Falk. After MacStock was canceled, a lot of us were really sad about the community that we lost. And Barry Falk, who's a crazy man, decided to solve that problem by inviting all Mac people to his house for a barbecue. How are you doing today, Barry?
This is the crazy person himself, Barry. Hey, Al. Thanks so much for having me on today.
All right. So you actually invited, well, most importantly, you convinced your darling wife, Bobby Ann, to let you invite all Mac people.
Right.
To your
So
house
the
for a
original
barbecue.
thought was I really did miss. I mean, Macworld was such a great event, and it was always a chance to catch up with the community. And it could be anything from just running into a random individual to, like, you hosted some really cool events there as well. And I just loved it. And with Macworld at the time going on quote hiatus unquote, I was like, well, I'm missing that. And I think it was about 2 years after the first cancellation, I was like, I need to do something. So you're correct. I convinced my wife that I'm like, what if I just invited some friends over? I figured it'd be a local 6 to 10 people was kind of my expectation.
Oh, that's how you tricked her into it.
Yeah, local. So you're correct. I convinced my wife that I'm like, what if I just invited some friends over? I figured it'd be a local 6 to 10 people was kind of my expectation.
Oh, that's how you tricked her into it.
Yes, exactly. Because my nefarious plan worked. So originally, it was going to start out that, and it was just literally, I was going to grill in the backyard, have some people over a couple hours and start from there. We have a nice little backyard, and I thought it'd be fun. And I believe the next step is you and I started talking about it. I don't remember why specifically. Maybe I just mentioned it. And then you were like, hey, Steve and I will come out. Like, really? And you were also generous enough to let me on the show and to talk about it because I really do love the community here. And it was one of those things that I always felt that I wanted to give back somehow. So you were set to come, and then it kind of started to snowball because several many of your listeners said, hey, if Allison and Steve are going and Barry's going to be there, who else might show up? We better be there. And it was an amazing amount of traction very quickly, because this, I want to say, it was only within 6-7 weeks before the actual event. It wasn't like months.
Okay.
So
we're
it
just
was
so
an amazing-
spontaneous too. It shows everybody missed it, right?
Exactly. And it was amazing. So people were reaching out about the event. I gave them the details. I'm like, hey, it's going to be on this date. Come on over. The only real stipulation I had is either I know you or you know somebody that knows me. I figured that's a safe way of making sure we're at least doing a little bit of vetting. And with your audience, and then I ended up on other shows such as Matt Geek Gab. I think I may have even talked to Ken Ray and a few other people in the podcasting world. And everybody was super supportive. It was great letting me come on the show, talk about it. And it spiraled very quickly in a good way, where all of a sudden that 6 to 10 became 20, 30, 50, 80. And I think the final number was just shy of about 125. And I could even be low on that number. So imagine, if you will, a yard full of wonderful people in the Mac community that literally my wife knew nobody other than me. So this was a very literal divorce-inducing event if things went poorly. 8 years later, or whatever it is, we're still together, and we are going to do it again.
Woo!
That is super exciting. So lots have changed in terms of my world. I'm actually now based out of San Francisco. I'm not even in Chicago, but we still have the house there. So in talking to you and talking to Steve and talking to Bobby Ann, we said, hey, we could do this again.
Hang on.
And at first,
We've skipped one little step in here. The
Oh, yes.
Midwest Mac Barbecue is what helped spawn MacStock, the conference. So Mike
Great
Potter said, hey, wait a minute. If all these Mac people are going to be in town, I should make a conference. So he made a conference exist. And that's the genesis of MacStock. So MacStock has kept going. Obviously, the last couple of years have been a little bit hit or miss, but it should be coming back strong this year. And so when you say the Midwest Mac Barbecue is back, that's going to be right before MacStock, right? That same weekend.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So logistically, I'll put this out now, and I'm sure we'll repeat it. It is Thursday, July 20th. So we wanted to give a little bit of time. So if people were interested, they could come to Chicago early. And it doesn't matter. Pretty much the whole day will be open. I'm going to figure food will start around 2:00. But if you're going to be landing early or you're in the area and you want to come by early, great. Just let me know.
Like don't sit in the airport by yourself or in a gas station waiting for 2:00.
Come on early. I'll even make breakfast. And
jeez.
Hey,
don't say that. That ends up you're hosting 30 people for Eggs Benedict if you don't watch out.
Hey, I live by myself out here now. I've had to learn how to cook for myself. So I do make a mean scrambled egg. And we really are just going to keep it open all day. I hate saying goodbye, so we may run late into the night, and that's fine. But the reason I thought it'd be nice to do it on a Thursday is that way people could stay in the area, so they can stay late. They can head out to Woodstock that night if they want, or they can just enjoy the area. Chicago is, of course, a great city. Hang out there during the day Friday.
Yeah,
and
so
then
your
head
house
out.
is pretty close to the airport, right?
Yeah, I'm less than 10 minutes away from O'Hare.
Okay.
So real easy to get to, very easy, taxi, Uber, Lyft ride. And, again, I think once we get a little bit closer, I'm going to try to coordinate rides for people. So maybe if people are arriving at the same time, they could share a ride, and just try and make it as easy as possible for everyone. I'll even put information on the website about the event, about hotels in the area, some other things to do. So I will note now and again later and in the show notes, I'm just using my own domain for this one. So it's barryfulk.com, BARRYFULK.com.
Oh, all righty. I'm probably going to cut it off there, but he's going to get into more details, and he's going to talk about wine. That's another thing that he did. He he and his wife changed their living room into a wine bar. So that's hence how he's going to be. What is? I think I'm accidentally deleting things. Wait a minute. Let's see. Wait, so excited. Thanks again, Barry. Okay, there we go.
Thanks, Allison.
Okay. Yeah, the room is beautiful. It's really cool. All right, save and add a chapter mark. You think so, huh? Okay. Did I miss anything good going on here, Steve? Oh, I guess I was following along pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barry's not kidding. Just you can come. He's inviting you to this party at his house.
We should clarify one thing. I think it's inferred, but when he said he lives by himself now, he meant that he's living in San Francisco, working away from home, but he's still with his wife and they're still together. They're just remotely located, working or meeting each other once in a while.
Right. Yeah, they're very much still the item. I don't know. Maybe it was the barbecue. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So she flies out to see him. He flies back to see her, and all is good. He just had a great job opportunity he had to take for a couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, this is long, Jill. I guess is this just repetitive? Jill and I are gonna have been discussing in the back channel. I'm gonna use her music.
Oh.
But I need it to be like a few seconds long.
Oh, her open. I see.
Yeah, I'm gonna use her opening music, but I think I can just.
How long is it? I can't quite see
it's
it.
It's a minute 22. So
yeah,
I think I want to do that, but we're gonna try. This is Jill doing.
Yeah, she said it repeats.
Corpus.
She said cut it off for
sure when to stop.
First 10 seconds, I assume.
Oh, okay. How do I tell 10 seconds? 23:46. Let me see. See how this does.
Thanks, Allison.
Okay, so I got to find 10 seconds. So right there, 23:46.
Maybe you could just fade it out.
Yeah, but I'm going to. But 23:10. Oh, sorry, 23:46, 23:56. Jeez, come here. I don't want you to. It's connected. 23:50s. Okay, so you're saying it's better to 10 seconds. I got to make my own version of this if I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, I see. Oh, there's 23:56. That seems a little bit long.
Can you just grab that handle and move it back so it fades out? That slope you had going?
That's not the question. The question is how long to run the intro. I think I'm going to kind of do something like this. Let's see how this does.
Thanks, Allison.
Oh, wait. There's no chapter mark.
Yes. Good job, whoever said it.
Me?
Good job.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear how this sounds.
Thanks, Allison.
Hi, this is Jill from the North.
No.
That's good.
No, I didn't like it.
You want to fade it out longer?
I want to fade it there. I'm using the old version, and I wish I had the new version. And I didn't say to do that. And I'm going to have her fade in a little bit later. Okay, here we go, like this. Whoop. I always get happy when I hear this music.
Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods.
I would push her voice closer to the music. Yeah. Where she starts speaking should line up.
Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods.
It's too steep.
So just push the slope, make it more slopey. Less slopey, I mean. A longer slope.
Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods.
I don't like that at all.
Is that Is that the longest you have for the music?
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What is it the longest? I just
Where it
shortened
goes to 0, is that the end, or do you have more to play with beyond that?
You can go anywhere you want.
Okay, drag it out like another 5 seconds or so,
5 seconds?
and then slope. Yeah, and then slope it.
God.
No, not that
Are you
far.
kidding?
Maybe half
That's
that.
5 seconds.
Okay, and then slope it
Actually, 23:52.
maybe 3.
I don't know how. 52, 54, 56. There, like there.
And then start
And
to
then
slope
it way
farther.
back like that.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods. When I bought my iPad
It's like it goes to
way
0 too
back
quickly.
in 2010, either
Then-
the first app
Then extend it out another 5 seconds and slope it real gradual.
Hi, this is Jill from the North Woods. When I bought my iPad
That's better.
way back in
There you go.
2010,
Oh no, that's right. So back when she bought it in 2010.
either the first app I bought or one of the first apps I bought was Corkulus. It is a virtual corkboard. Now, part of the reason I like computing and computers so much is I can't read my own handwriting, or I can't even cut a straight line. When I imagine making a billboard full of cool pictures or making some kind of art with photos, I'm really terrible at it. I can't cut to save my life. So I found that when I had the iPad, I was able to do amazing things that was technically impossible for uncoordinated Jill to even get to. The iPad allowed me to be creative for the first time in a successful way. Corkulus was great for my iPad. I was able to make these boards, organize my thoughts, and this was a decade before anyone ever gave me access to Visio. When it came time for my server administration projects, I would sit out and draw my server plans using this app. My company was kind of cheap, and so they never gave me software that would properly allow me to draw up server diagrams for my farms. But because I had this product, I was able to do that successfully. This was way back in 2010. And over the years, I somewhat forgot about this. But recently I did a podcast about creating vision boards and using all your senses in order to bring your goals forward to you. And suddenly it came back in my brain, Corkulus. I could make these vision boards in Corkulus and have them around digitally, even if I didn't find a large format printer to print them out. But certainly you could bring them to a local printer and get those printed out and hang them on the wall. So I came back and started using Corkulus again. And after my time away, I found a couple of really interesting things. First of all, it was purchased by someone else. I'm not sure if he was involved in the first Corkulus or it's someone entirely new, but he brought new energy into the project. He recently recoded it so it uses modern codes and modern APIs, bringing it up to standards, but he made it even better. He listens to people talk about it. He's put new enhancements into it. And I can tell from the way he talks to reviews and responds to reviews that he's trying to make Corkulus into something amazing. And if you don't know what Corkulus is, again, it's just a giant corkboard. You can have other backgrounds too. The idea is that you're going to put cards, Post-it notes, photos, embed PDFs, have emojis and lines of string. If you're one of those people who likes to sit in the closet and figure out who the murderer is with photographs, articles, and pieces of string attached to it, you no longer have to hide this in your bedroom so people don't wonder what's going wrong with you. You can now put it on your iPad and keep it private.
Jill, what kind of a twisted mind do you have? I love that line.
If you're a conspiracy nut and you're really trying to pull the threads of everything that's going around, you can also figure that too on your Corkulus board. But for me, I just wanted better visualizations when it came to my goals. Recently, I started working on marketing my podcast and trying to get more listeners. I wanted to show my friend who's very visual what a marketing plan could look like. And after reading the one-page marketing guide, I was able to create sort of a marketing plan for myself using Corkulus. And even with all these different parts that you can put in your Corkulus board, it uses markdown language. You can embed code in there. It uses the Apple Pencil Scribble, so you can write and it will transcribe text, or you can just draw on things if you have a good hand at it. One of the things I loved about it way back in the day is magazines used to be expensive. So I would be able to take pictures of magazines and put them into my vision board. But now we have a whole digital world in front of us, and the world is really your oyster when it comes to Corculus. You can put darn near anything in it. In my marketing plan, I had a PDF telling me how to do better with SEO. Well, on my SEO area on how to market my podcast, there goes the PDF. It's all together. In the end, you can make it anything you want. There's some examples I've seen of it around where it's wedding photos, whether it's pictures of a kid, whether, again, it's a vision board and you're looking at your goals. Anything you can imagine, you could make with this. At one point, I was in a fiction writing contest with a friend of mine, and I laid out the whole fiction story in Corculus so I knew what would come first. And if the order of the book changed around, I could move the cards around and visualize it better. I know Scrivener does that too, but this was a quick and easy way for me to write a short story without a lot of overhead. One of the neat things about Corculus is when you create your board, you can also embed other boards into your board. And then you can bring all your boards together. Again, if I was writing a story, maybe each chapter is its own board. And then there's a total board that has all the chapters in it. With the Pro version, he also added the ability to sync with iCloud, which is nice because it goes on my Mac and my phone and my iPad, my brand new iPad. And you have the ability to share it, which means I could share it as a PDF, a graphic image, or I could just save it as a Corculus board. So if my friend also had a Corculus board, I could just share the file with her directly. He recommends putting it in a place like Dropbox so you both have access to this particular file. It used to be a standard version when it came to Corculus way back in the day when I bought it, but it's a lot of overhead to keep track of two different versions of a product. It's actually a lot of work. So he gave a subscription price. There's also a very reasonable lifetime subscription price. Back in the day, I can't imagine what I paid for the other version. In fact, I think it was free. So I've been using it all these years for free. But for a monthly subscription price, it's $199. For a year subscription, it's $14.99. And the lifetime subscription, which is what I bought after he went pro, is $34.99. But let's talk a little bit about how it handles. In using it itself, I found that on the iPad, it's great. I can grip things, I can move them around. I find the navigation flawless. Of course, this always started out as an iPad app, and then it went to iPhone. And now with it being on Mac, I understand that you can bring a lot of things into Mac using Catalyst, but sometimes the navigation's a little different. In this case, I found that it was hard at first to get around to being able to drop and drag things. I would have to draw boxes around it, with the mouse in order to grab something and move it around. Right-clicking on it, it's very easy so that you can edit the item itself. It also helps you find it and then move it and reshape it a little bit. But to me, I think the iPad use of it is far superior than the way you use it on the Mac. Again, I had a little bit of clunkiness with it when I used it on the Mac. That might be me as much as the app itself, but definitely on the iPad, it's intuitive and it works just the way you would hope it works. It's a good flow chart, a good diagramming device. It's a lot of fun to use. I use Visio at work, which is a very serious app. It's not fun at all to use. Corculus does a pretty good job. It has ways of aligning objects. It will help you shape objects so that they're in a column or in a row together. It does a really good job of trying to give you what you need when it comes to colors and manipulating the items that you're embedding inside of it. For my purposes, to create just some visual boards, to share things with friends, to make something fun. Again, I am going to find a large format printer and I'm going to print some of these out. It's great. And it's been fun for me to use. So if you're looking for something that's good for you, good for your family, good for kids, so they can get their ideas out, plan something, plan a vacation, this is the right tool for you. I like where it's going, and I like the fact that the developer is very interested in improving this tool and making it better than ever. And if you have any questions, again, you can find me on Allison's Slack channel, and you can find me at Jill@smallstepspod.com. Thank you for listening and have a great week.
Yay, Jill!
Very good, Jill.
I love
Corculus.
listening to Jill.
I do too.
You guys should really check out her podcasts. Smallstepspod.com. I just feel happy when I'm listening to Jill. It's just happy making. Who doesn't need enough of that, right? I'm going to do a little bit, and don't let me forget the chapter mark after this. All right.
And you can find me at Jill@smallstepspod.com. Thank you for listening and have a great week.
Well, thanks for the great review, Jill. To everybody, I really recommend you listen to the podcast over at smallstepspod.com. I do, and I love listening to her. I'm just happy all the time when I hear her. Anyway, I wanted to make sure she knew and you knew that I looked into Corculus, and it turns out you can still use Corculus for free with what they call the basic version on iPad or Mac. With the basic version, you get just 3 boards, so that kind of makes it a great way to find out if Corculus will work the way you think. Check out Corculus at corculus.com, and it's spelled Cork, Corkulous. So, of course, use the link in the show notes. All right. And for a chapter mark and some more content for today, and this is Script Talk should be next. All right, and we'll go back here and we'll copy the title. And back over here and do a chapter mark and paste, and go back over here.
Well, that's cool. Rose said, I read the blog post and downloaded it immediately.
Oh, good. I've been trying it on the Mac, and it's, as she said, it's kind of clumsy on the Mac. It's a Catalyst app. So I'm going to try it on the iPad. I'm not sure it thinks the way I think. I'm kind of like, rectangles, might be colored if I'm feeling frisky, but there should be straight lines and this whole strings and photos embedded. I don't know. We'll see if I can get into it.
You'd never make a good conspiracy theorist.
Right. Nothing like Jill. All right, let me check this connection here. S. So, of course, use the link in the show notes. One of the problems that people with low vision and cognitive capability problems is trying to read prescription bottles. And a company called... So I'm going to go to the end of this, but this is super cool. You have to check. For free. Now, in this United States, you can ask for one of these Script Talk devices. So if you have any trouble reading your prescription bottles, they basically put an RFID tag on the bottom of all of your prescription bottles once you get into this program, and you just set the thing down on your prescription down on this device, and it reads your prescription to you. Tells you what the dosage is and all that stuff. And if you want to use a smartphone, you can do that, but you could just set it on there. So if you any elderly or visually impaired friends who might need some help with reading their prescriptions, it is amazing, and it is free. It is like crazy cool. Oh, Dodger's listening.
That is great. Hey, Dodge.
Oh my gosh.
That's our daughter and son-in-law's dog, Dodger.
Oh my God, Lindsay, that is the funniest picture. we need a collage from tonight's show.
Yeah. Where's Tesla?
Yeah, Tesla's not even listening though.
That's right.
What are you gonna do? Mark.
Mark comes through.
Thanks, Mark. See, that's why I'm snotty to him. Actually, I've started noticing the snottiness factor going up pretty high tonight. We've got Mark, we've got Kevin, we've got John, Sandy, and Rose are on my team. Lindsay, I hope.
One thing I noticed, Security Bits is not in as a link yet in the show notes.
Oh, okay. Let me grab that right now while we're thinking about it. Thank you. And did I put it as a blog post? Make sure I marked it properly. Yes, I did. Do you want me to post again, or do you want me to just post it in the show notes here?
The show, you mean the show 9034
show notes? It would be easier for me to just do this. Or, oh no, that wouldn't be it. Can you just grab the link? I'll have it in the show notes, but when it's time, if you want to give it to the live show, that would be great.
Okay.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you for coming by.
How cool was that? I thought that was really, really amazing. I'm excited about that. Well, this week, Trevor Drover did something. Is it Dover or Drover? I think it's Drover, and I spelled it wrong in the show notes. One moment, please. Trevor's one of my favorite people. We were in Australia about to go on a cruise, on the MacMania cruise, when he came to a meetup that they had. Leo was the headliner, and so Leo scheduled a meetup, but Trevor came to meet me, and he not only met Steve and me after the event, he showed up at our hotel room with 2 bottles of wine from Australia. And like, not in a creepy way, like Steve was there, you know? Yeah, it is Drover. That's what I thought. I think I said it right, but yeah, Australian wine. It was delicious.
Great. Thank you for
But did he know you were there? Thanks. John, she's ganging up on me, ladies.
coming by.
Well, how cool was that? I'm really excited about that one for people. I think that is such broad appeal. Well, anyway, this week Trevor Drover did something really cool with Patreon. He changed the currency of his support from US dollars to Australian dollars where he actually lives. I think it's excellent that Patreon lets you pick the currency that makes sense to you. So instead of getting some weird monthly payment that's the round off of today's currency exchange rate or something like that, it's a proper round number for your ledger, and you can make sure that it stays that same round number. You know, you can control it. And so I think that's one of the good things about Patreon. By the way, I was just telling the live audiences that I will never forget, Trevor Drover met up with us in Australia when we had a tweet up before the MacMania cruise. And then he brought Steve and me 2 bottles of red Australian wine. So not only that, he's a patron. How cool is that? But I've got another story like that. A dear friend of mine in real life became the newest patron of the Podfeet podcast. She brings me delicious homemade baked goods. She was a chef in a former life. And I thought that was payment enough, but she went to podfeet.com/Patreon and pledged an amount in the currency of her choosing that showed the value that she gets from all the shows. So thank you to Trevor for his continued patronage, and thanks to the treats and the new pledge from my in real life friend. She asked not to be identified. Did I tell you who that was, Steve?
No, but I think I can guess.
Mm-hmm. A very generous pledge.
Yeah,
Really,
that's nice.
Really cool. All right, Security Bits music. Oh, just to let you know, I put some. I brought some tonic upstairs.
Is that a hint?
No.
Maybe while you're posting the show, I can prepare those.
I think I just heard Lindsay laugh from all the way down the hallway.
I think Dodger laughed at that.
I heard Lindsay giggling. She's far. She's way up in the. Lindsay's house is really, really long, so she's like a quarter of a mile to my left. Was that you giggling, Lindsay? Okay, let's see. We need to bring in Bart and me. There was not much to worry about with Security Bits, believe it or not.
Unusual week.
Yeah. Wait, which one was that? Yeah, that was me. Now we're going to do Bart. Actually, you know what I should do? I should get rid of that first. And bring this one up. And do that. And let you hear this. Listen.
Blink.
Yay!
Blink. That was a good one. Listen to that.
Blink.
Yeah, a lot of K in that.
It had 2 syllables.
Yeah. Blink.
Yeah, light Security Bits is always good news, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Let's see. Wow, I eyeballed this and it looks pretty close. Let's hear this.
I think she's got him, Kevin.
Like in real life. What?
I think you have the chapter mark in there. I see a yellow dot.
I do. I did do a chapter mark. You forgot to tell me before. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Shots. Let's see. You said it was going to be a slightly less agonizing report this week?
Yeah, it's kind of quiet. I don't know if that's the news reporters have stopped reporting all the not so scary stuff, or if that's that we are actually getting better at this as an industry. I was
Oh, you
pondering
jinxed
that
it
today.
now.
Well, I
All
was
the
trying to
wood.
sort of mentally think: has what I'm talking about changed? And I am. Maybe there's been enough high-profile things that the baseline has shifted. Maybe.
Yeah, so we
Eh.
talk about the big stuff. Like all the
Yeah.
little breaches just are noise now.
Well, no, I meant it in the positive way, as in that I think
Oh,
your average, like, think about your average small company. Security wasn't on their radar at all a decade ago. Now it is. So
yeah,
maybe
that's true.
maybe we've just gotten a little bit better. I probably have jinxed it
Maybe.
now. Oh well.
But in individuals, I doubt have.
Maybe by accident, because there's more. Our tech is helping us more, so it's less our problem, which is how it should be, right? More stuff
Right.
updates more automatically, or with less friction.
But if I look at the people that I talked to on the cruise, when essentially every single person who asked me for help with their phone had a big number on the you have an update screen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
not quite there yet. Anyway, it's a long way of
We'll
me
see.
saying
All right.
show notes aren't that long today, which is good.
Okay,
And I've
good.
just realized that I have the wrong byword window open. So I can give you a preview of Let's Talk Apple on Thursday, but how's about I do a Command Tab here and switch over to this other window where I can tell you that it is the 2nd of April. One piece of follow-up. Apple's emergency SOS via satellite has arrived in 6 more European countries. They would be not Australia, that's not a European country, Austria, Belgium, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands and Portugal, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have decided to do a deep dive into a story that isn't all that deep, but it's got a bit of news and it has a fun name. Have you heard of the Acropolis?
Who?
Acropolis. So the
No.
Acropolis is an ancient building in Greece. An apocalypse is a terrible thing, and an acropolis is a bug with cropping.
Oh, I thought maybe it was a bad thing that happened in Greece.
I don't.
No.
Well, actually, maybe one of the researchers was Greek. I don't know for sure. I think it's a play on the word. I think it's basically just wordplay on crop and
Okay.
apocalypse. But anyway, it started. Actually, I'll give you the TLDR version, then I can give you the story. So basically, if you use the markup tool, which is part of the image editing suite on a Google Pixel, and it's not part of Android, it's actually part of the stuff Google do just for the Pixel.
Okay.
And if you use that tool to crop an image, or if you are a Windows 10 user who uses the it's a specific tool on Windows 10.
Snipping tool?
No, it's the Snip and Sketch in Windows 10 and the snipping tool in Windows 11, but not the snipping tool in Windows 10.
Okay, we'll change the show notes to reflect what you just said then, because you said snipping tool in Windows 10 and 11.
Ah, yes, because I changed it further down. I forgot to change it in the TLDR. Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
I'll fix it.
Thank
So
you.
what is it called in Windows 10?
It is the Snip and Sketch tool.
Snip and Sketch. Okay. And
So-
what does this horrible thing do?
It means if you crop an image, it doesn't actually remove the data from the file. It only makes it visibly not there anymore.
So if you like crop out your house number and then post that on social media, it's still there?
Yeah, yes-ish, but not on social media, because social media are very, very price conscious. So they recompress every image you upload to save themselves on storage costs. And in the process, they accidentally protect you from this bug. So, yeah, not
Wait,
intentional.
how do they do that?
Well, they recompress everything, right? When you upload it to Twitter, you'll always see it
Oh.
recompressing it, because what they're actually doing is increasing
Right.
the compression to give it a worse image quality, because, hey, everyone's screen is tiny and it saves us money. It's a penny an image, but when you're the size of these companies, a penny an image is kind of important. So they've accidentally protected us all.
All right, I'm going to cut us off there. The bottom line of that is I don't know. I don't think that there was any I don't think anybody should be worried about this one. Let's see. So Bart might have gotten a shout out on security bits. It very likely could have been. He is an avid reader, but did they? What was it about? You remember?
Stay patched.
Bart-
Stay secure.
Bart
was
got
that?
a shout out on security bits.
Sorry, no. Did I say security bits? He said security now with Steve Gibson.
That's cool.
Never said she was smart. Oh, telling your wife.
To stay patched, so you stay secure.
I see a slight typo in the that's it for this week, but I'm not sure it'll make much difference.
could it be?
Let me check
Seriously?
the link. It's just a link typo, but it works. It's not a typo, it's an extra period, but it works.
Where?
Podfeed at chaos.social. There's a dot leading dot ahead of the at.
No, that's the underline not looking right with the at symbol.
Oh, okay.
It's an underline partway on either side, but the at symbol goes too low.
Got it.
You know, I've been thinking about calling that Mastodon, or what would I call it? Like podfeed.com/Mastodon?
Oh, I see. Oh, right. Because
I thought
everything
about
good
that.
starts with podfeed.
Right. But
Podfeed.
that kind of sounds funny. Oh, and Naked Security, not Security Now. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's even more
cooler.
well,
You should tell
yeah.
Bart. I wonder if he knows. Definitely tell him. All right. I'm going to wind us up here. All right. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeed.com anytime you like? If you have a question or a suggestion, just send it on over. You can follow me on Mastodon at podfeed at chaos.social. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, you can join our Slack community like Jill does at podfeed.com/Slack, where you can talk to me and all of the other lovely NosillaCast castaways. You can support the show at podfeed.com/Patreon, like Trevor and my baking friend, or with a one-time donation at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time, where you can correct me like Mark did. And you can also join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. There we go.
So Mike clarified what he saw. There was a Bart who wrote in saying, "Thank you for all their summaries of the issues."
And they read it out loud. That's nice.
Naked Security, not Security Now. Yeah.
Yeah. And stay subscribed. Did anyone else see Tetris?
I haven't
did
seen it
not,
yet.
But I heard somebody, Pat saw it and Pat Dengler saw it and said it was amazing. And
Yeah.
stay subscribed. It sounds like such a weird thing to be excited about, but a movie about a video or about a handheld game or such a strange thing. I have 6 chapter marks. How many you got, Steve?
Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 plus 1 you're going to put in, so 5. Oh, and support the show?
Mm-hmm.
6.
6. He can count to 6. Yay. All right, everybody. I think that I am going to call it. I'm going to let you out of class 6 minutes early. Oh, but actually, wait. Is Sienna awake yet? She likes to come make an appearance. Right? What do you think, Linz? Let's see whether we get a reaction here. It might take a second. She was napping when we started, but she's got to be awake by now. It's going to be time to put her to bed pretty soon. Oh, here she comes. Hi, Sienna. Hi. Oh, there she is. Do you want to wear the headphones?
No.
Say hi.
No.
Say hi, Pippier.
Pippa.
Hi, Sienna. Hello. Say hi to the chat room.
Do you want to say hi to everybody? Hi, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You all done? Is that all you want to say? The last
mic
time we
is
did
kind
this,
of-
when
The mic is covering
we
her.
had
Oh,
gone
you
off to
can't
do
hear.
something else, and Lizzie came back in the room, and Sienna was sitting in my chair with the headphones on, talking into the microphone. She turned 3 years old yesterday. Yay! How old are you, Sienna?
Hey, Al.
Oh, Forbes is in the other room.
Oh, how old are you?
Al?
3?
The mic is covering her face.
Oh, the mic is covering her face.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a lot cuter without a mic in her face. Sorry about that. All right. See, but
Can you say
oops.
bye-bye?
See, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Sienna. Happy birthday
Bye.
yesterday.
All righty. Whoops, which way did I go on? Just
One leg up, one leg down.
That's good. Oh, everybody's saying happy birthday to her. That's really nice, guys. Thank you for indulging me on with my grandchildren. But I think we are going to call the show now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's time.
All righty. Bye, everybody.
Say bye-bye, Sienna. Bye-bye. On that note, do you want to hit the end button? No, you hang up. No, you hang. All right, Sienna, hit this button. All right.